Hi students, welcome to LTX classes. This is me SPR. I'm dealing with the geography concepts that is important for your UPSC preparations. If you are preparing for UPSC prelims and mains, the concept oriented learning that makes you clear cutly understand about the topic in detail. So we'll be concentrating on prelims and mains oriented learning through geography concept through the videos in this LTX classes. If you wanna be part of this, kindly like, share and subscribe to this channel and for the more updates by me and many other expert faculties for your exam oriented preparations and study. Okay guys, today we're gonna see about the topic called body waves. If you want to see these videos, kindly follow the series of videos so that you will be understanding in clear. So and also guys, here we are teaching for the basic to learned student. See here, if a person with a zero knowledge, if he views our video, he will understand the concept clearly. So that only we're gonna explain in detail and clear cut manner so that you will understand the topic in a brief and detailed manner. So here even an expert can understand and also slow learner can also understand. So guys, kindly lots and efforts we are putting forward to teach you and make you learn about the concepts in geography. So kindly give a like and also comment. So your every valued comments will be a motivating positive factor for us to teach more content for you. So guys, your valuable contents are most a motivative session for us also. Okay guys, here body waves. Before viewing body waves, I had provided you seismic waves in detail. So body waves is a part of a seismic waves. In the seismic wave, I had created a concept clarity in that. So if you understand the seismic waves, now you will be understanding it has a two types of waves. One is body waves and other is surface waves. So here in this video, I'll be explaining in detail about the body waves. Okay guys. So body waves. First of all, here we'll be having a concept clarity how it has originated. Okay, now how the body waves are generated. So we need to understand where and when and how these body waves are generated. So here the beginning point of the so-called body waves. Already I had shown an example how this earthquake is originated. It is because of the slip inside the earth or interior of the earth or any other high amount of energy is released. The energy is released here. What is happening here? The energy is released. The point where the energy is released is called as what? That is called as focus. So you know that the energy from where it is released, it is focused. From this point only the body waves are generated. So now your answer is clear now. So where is the P waves is generated means it is from the source, that is focus. So now if any questions arises in prelims that from where this body waves are originated means that is none other than focus. So from the focus when energy is released, this body waves are generated. And next, so after the generation, what does this so-called body waves do? This travel in all directions. See the image here, this travel in all direction. There is no particular direction designed or destined for the so-called body waves. So this start traveling in move in all direction. So the body waves start moving in all direction. Now you have an idea how it generated. It is generated in focus where the energy is released, and after that it keep moving on in all direction. So whatever the wave that moves in all direction, can it be called as body waves? No. So while moving in all direction, so called this body waves is only moving interior of the earth. So this body waves are traveling interior of the earth. So until unless this waves travel inside the earth, it is called as the this waves are called as the body waves. So here after generation of the energy, this moves in all direction. So now you take this as a earth, this body waves will travel only inside the earth. This will not come to the surface. If it comes to the surface, this will be changed or called as the surface waves. This is not a body waves. Only body waves when it travels along the interior of the earth. Now you would have understood what is the definition on how the body waves are generated and how they are traveling, everything in detail. Now there are two types of body waves. So we have two types of body waves. What are they? So they are, one is P waves, one is P waves, other is S waves. So you need to have a clarity. What is this P wave? What is this S wave? And everything in detail we'll be studying in this video. Okay, in this video I'll be explaining in detail only P wave. In next concept clarity I'll be explaining the S waves. So don't worry, I'll be making it in detail. So this P waves is a primary wave. What is it? It is a primary wave. So why it is a primary wave? Okay guys, let me say you something here. Do you know, whenever you experienced in the school days or college days, there will be a one person, one kid from the class. He will be a first person to run whenever a staff invites. So he is a primary, so first person to run, so it is called as he is a primary person. So similarly this P waves, after the energy is released, this is the first person run, so this is primary wave. So S waves means it is a secondary wave. So beyond the, see, after the primary person went, there is a secondary person coming over next to him. So after the P waves there is a other person coming over to you, that is secondary waves. So you know this is secondary waves. P waves is also named as, and also the nature, okay, not name I will be explaining later. And also what we can see, the characteristics of the P waves, which means nature of the P wave. Nature of the P wave is longitudinal. So longitudinal, what is longitudinal? Okay, longitudinal means what? Here, whenever a wave, see here, wave travel along the line, see here, along the line or length. So the wave travel along the length, so it travels in the same direction, so then it is called as the longitudinal nature. So what is the longitudinal nature? It is traveling in a straight line along the same direction. And for example, this is similar to the sound wave. So when it travels similar to the sound wave, then it is called as the primary wave. So you have to have a clear cut clarity that nature. So it's the nature of the P waves is it travel in a longitudinal nature. So if anyone asks what is the nature of the primary waves or P waves, it is longitudinal. That must be your answer. So the wave propagation is similar to what? Sound wave. As we read how the sound waves travels, in the same manner this P waves also travel. And next we shall have a clarity on a S wave. So S wave is called as a transverse waves. Okay, transverse wave. Now you need to understand what is this transverse wave. Okay, you need to understand what is the transverse wave. You know the movie Trans? Hope many of you know that. If not, no problem. See here, if a drunkard takes a bike and he is already full in alcohol, okay, he is alcoholic, so he had an alcohol and he will be in trance. Does he live with the senses? He'll be not living with or acting with the senses, he will be in a some trance. So transverse wave means trance. So here transverse, so it will be like this. So how he rides the bike? So he ride in a straight line? No, perfect. So if primary wave means it is a perfect wave, so they travel in a right, so perfect person travels in a straight line. But when a alcoholic drunkard travels, he is in a stage of trance, so he will be driving in such way like zigzag pattern. So he fall and rise and fall and rise and turn, so not in a same direction, he will be traveling in a different direction. So it will be a forward movement but whooping effect, like, so it will be like a zigzag. So this is called as transverse nature. So now what is transverse nature? When an alcoholic, when he is in a trance, so this is called as a transverse nature. So the secondary waves are having a transverse nature. So I'm saying about a nature, not a name also comes as a transverse wave, that is also based on this only. There you will be understanding that thing, so no issues. So here next, so for example, you take a water in a tub. So how to give an example for transverse means, if you take an example such as a tub of water, there you can see ripples. So here ripples are formed. So if you take a tub of water and throw a stone on it, suddenly there will be a waves rising in the form of ripple effect. They will be circling around and touch the edges of the so-called wall and hit again. So this so-called ripple effect in the water is the similar example of the transverse nature. How do this ripple effect forms? Like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. So this is called as the so-called transverse nature. So now you know what is the nature of P waves, what is the nature of S waves. Now we are getting into detail of the so-called P waves. Now we are studying P waves. So P waves are called as primary waves. So you know that P waves is a primary wave. So everybody has a clarity in that. Okay students, hope you are much more clear. These are first to reach, so they are called as primary. So if you wanna become a first, so if you wanna become a lead, so then you must be fastest. So you must be fastest. So the P waves are fastest among the seismic waves. This is fastest among what? Fastest among seismic waves. We have a different types of seismic waves: P, S, L, rally. Okay, not L, love waves and rally waves. These are different types of seismic waves you can experience. In that, this P waves are primary waves and fastest waves. So here we're gonna study the characteristics and names. Okay, first I explain the names of it, and then we can study the features or characteristics of the so-called P waves. And this session will help you in writing a mains on about P waves. Here, this is a concept clear study. Okay, guys. Here. Okay, this is the fastest among seismic waves. So if it is fastest, then what? It will be. So here, how do you so-called measure the seismic waves? You will be measuring seismic waves using seismograph. Okay, seismograph. So use seismograph to measure the so-called seismic waves. So to measure the seismograph, so you are measuring it. So if it is the faster, this will be recorded first. Okay, recorded first. So if you are faster, you will be the first person to reach. So such a thing. So the seismograph records first which waves? It records P waves. So this is the answer directly you can be expecting in a prelims. So in a prelims point of view, you will be getting more confused. So this is a statement based of questions. You will be much more confused. This will make clear for you that seismograph records first which type of waves, that is none other than P waves. So seismograph records P waves at a first instance. Okay, this is concept clear. Now let me take you to understanding the other names of the so-called P waves and understanding them in clear. Okay, sir. Before that, if you view the P waves and S waves, you will be understanding the concept much more clear. Yeah, I'm providing that for you guys here. Here, this is a P waves and S waves. Below is a P wave, above is a S wave. How it is traveling? So here, this is traveling in a straight line. There is no zigzag, but here you can experience, here these are closely packed, these are sparsely packed. So here you can experience high density in this spot, and in this spot there are high density, and these regions you can experience low density. So there is a variation in the density, and there is a so-called a compression, and everything you will be understanding in detail. Okay, guys. Here. Now let us understand P wave has other names. What are it? P waves are also called as longitudinal waves. So why you call it as longitudinal waves? Here guys, longitudinal nature is different, longitudinal wave is different. Okay, it is a nature of it. Because of that nature we call it as longitudinal waves. Here what we call, we are seeing what we are calling the so-called P waves. So here the name I am explaining, longitudinal waves, because this is, see here, same direction, this goes or flows in the same direction. So this flows in the same direction or opposite. So here or opposite direction. So it can travel in the same direction or opposite direction, but only one direction. Okay, direction. So it can travel same direction or opposite direction. So here same direction means many of the students will get confused. It can travel only one direction, unidirectional. No, it can travel in multiple direction but same direction, or parallel to that in opposite direction, not on the same line. So here the so-called longitudinal waves, why it is called P waves is called as longitudinal waves, is that it travels in a straight line, but in one direction. Okay guys, you would have had a clarity in that. And also that one direction, when definition oriented, if you explain, that is called as the direction. Okay, direction of propagation of the wave, direction of propagation, direction of propagation of the wave, direction of propagation of the wave. So this travels in the propagation of the wave. Okay guys, so now you had a clear understanding that this P waves is called as longitudinal waves because they are traveling in a propagation of the wave. They travel in the same direction of the propagation of the wave. Okay, now you would have understood why it is called as a longitudinal wave. Okay, next, here we have a other name for the P waves called as compressional waves. So what do they call? Compressional. So compressional waves. So why do you call these P waves as compressional waves? See here guys, you will be having a experience while questions in a multiple forms. They won't directly ask a P waves. Sometimes in mains they would ask as a compressional waves. So you need to be able to answer with that name perspective and need to understand that that is none other than the same so-called P waves. So you need to have a concept clarity, then otherwise you won't answer the question there. So here compressional waves. So compressional means what? So they produce. So the P waves produce compression and rarefaction. So they produce compression and rarefaction. So what is compression and rarefaction? So you need to understand what is compression and rarefaction. For that you need to view the image. Here if you see the P waves, this is sparsely packed. Then suddenly see here, this is closely packed. Then sparsely packed. Then closely packed. So here whatever you are seeing here, this is called as compression. So this is called as compression. So the wave is compressed. So this part is called as rarefaction. So what is it? Rarefaction. So that means here compression of the wave is happening, here rarefaction of the wave is happening. So overall you understand that this wave is a composition of compression and rarefaction. So whenever this wave, see here, now you understand this produces compression and rarefaction. So whenever this wave is traveling through a medium, so this will travel through a medium. Okay, so it will be traveling through a medium. So whenever it is traveling through the medium, in that medium it will create compression and also it will create rarefaction. So because of this nature of the so-called P waves, we call it as compressional waves. So you had a clarity of that. Another thing, pressure waves. So this P waves is also called as pressure waves. Again the student got confused. Why it is pressure waves? See here, this so-called P waves, when traveling, it can increase or decrease. So it can increase or decrease the pressure of the medium. So it can increase or decrease the pressure of the medium. So pressure of the medium. So then again you need to view the image over here. The same concept as I explained previously, compression, where the things will be brought close. For example, you need to have a similar example. If you are traveling in a car, suddenly you put on a brake and again accelerate, brake, accelerate, brake, accelerate. So the moment you travel is called as a, whenever you put on the brake, you will feel like compressed. Then again freed, rarefaction. So there you create a pressure built over there. So this similar form, this compression and rarefaction will create a changes in the pressure of the so-called medium. So because of the pressure change, it is also called as the pressure waves. And also this P waves can also create a change in the density. So this creates density differences. So P waves can also create density differences. Okay, density differences like that you need to understand. See here, stretching. So stretching, so when do it stretch? Okay, so it has gone for a workout, so that it does the stretching. Okay, no, it is rarefaction. During rarefaction, P waves creates stretching experience. So the same way the P waves create a squeezing experience. So it creates a squeezing experience while compression. So this is a similar thing that you can see over here in the image. So I need not again theoretically explain that, so you can understand here guys. So how it is here? So here it is creating compression, so it is squeezing. So the so-called waves are getting squeezed over here. Rarefaction, so completely freed. So if it is freed, it is stretching. So it is creating stretching. So this is the two forms that has been created along the medium when the P waves travels through it. Okay guys, this is what you had learned about the P waves. Now you need to know about features of the P waves. What are all the features that you need to know, important features of the P waves? This will be directly possible in a main session of examinations. You need to understand them. Okay guys, so the P waves, so features of P waves, not any other waves, P waves only I'm explaining. Okay, now we shall understand what is the features of P waves here. Guys, this is having a high frequency. So comparing to other waves, so compared to other waves, high frequency wave is none other than P waves. So if they ask any other time which is the waves of high frequency, means that is none other than P waves. And also these waves are least destructive. So least destructive comparatively. So comparatively means when you compare it with S and so called we say it as a surface waves or L waves or surface waves. Okay, you can write it as surface waves. S waves or surface waves, whatever the waves. So when other forms of seismic waves compared to the other forms of seismic or earthquake waves, this so called P waves are less destructive. They don't destruct the surroundings. Okay, and also when the P waves reaches the earth surface, mostly it if it reaches the earth surface, it will be converted into surface waves. That's another part of the business what we study over there. But here, so here this so-called P waves, what do the effect that creates on the earth surface? While traveling, P waves creates trembling. So trembling experience. So it creates a trembling experience. So when P waves traveling along the earth, it creates a trembling experience on the earth surface. Why so? So here if you need to see, here you can see the other image. Here P waves is traveling vertically upwards to the surface. This is the surface. So it is creating, see here, compression and rarefaction, compression, rarefaction. So continuously because of this pressure and release. So this future, it will be creating a trembling future along the surface of the so called earth. Okay guys, because so trembling experience, this is because up and down feature. So it is up and down. Okay, up and down direction, up and down direction, or vertical in motion. Okay, vertical in motion, so that it is an experience that P waves travels in a creates a trembling experience on the surface of the earth. And also see here, P waves can travel in all mediums. P waves travel in all mediums. So whatever the medium you take, so travel in all mediums. So all mediums means what? It can travel in gas, it can travel in liquid, it can travel in solid. So but the velocity, which means it can travel, but how? The velocity, so the velocity will be varying based on the shear strength. What is the shear strength? Shear strength means the capacity of the or elasticity of the so called, so it is called as the elasticity. Okay, elasticity, not elasticity, elasticity. Okay, this is the shear strength means what? Elasticity of the so called medium. So elasticity of the medium. So if the medium it is traveling, based on the elasticity of the medium it travels, and the velocity is dependent. So we need to understand how it travels in different mediums. If you are studying on P waves, it has a different speed or different velocity in different mediums. Let me explain it in clear. So the velocity is how it is in solids, it is higher. So solids it is greater than liquids. Next, so next to that it stands as the gaseous. So this is how it travels. So it travels solids faster than liquids. So again liquids are faster than gaseous. So this is how it travels. If you are reading this clear in childhood onwards, you would have known that this is a similar pattern of sound waves. So this is a direct example or direct feature of the sound waves. So sound waves, as it travels among the atmosphere, the similar way the P waves also travel. Okay, next, if you come to the speed, so travel P wave velocity will be varying according to the medium, we know that actually. But here if you are reading in clear, so mostly it may range from 5 to 8. So 5 to 8 kilometers per second. Within seconds it can reach 5 to 8 kilometers. That is none other than the velocity of the P waves. But if you want to have a precise data, exact data, then you need to know it. So Earth's interior, so if you are considering Earth's interior core, okay, so Earth's interior it will be traveling of a different speeds. So in crust, okay, so see here in crust, the p waves is less than 6 kilometers per hour, less than 6 kilometers per second. Okay, and if you are considering the lower mantle, so here lower mantle, so lower mantle which is much more denser, so that the speed will be varying at 13.5 kilometers per second. So it will be varying at a range of 13.5 kilometers per second. And again, if you are considering to the speed of the inner core, if you are taking to the calculating data or precise data of the so-called inner core, it will be traveling at a rate of 11 kilometers per second. This will be the speed of, it will be varying, guys. It is not a fixed. So you need to know why the variation, because earth is not a similar structure. If you are studying the earth's interior is different, and the density varies. How it varies? The density of the earth varies based on the regions. So based on the density, the speed of the p waves also varies inside the earth. So p waves is the one of the broader concept you need to understand, so that only I had made it in clear. And I need to say a comparative study of the so-called p waves for our learning. So that is p waves. You must be comparing it with the s waves. P waves is 1.7 times faster than the, because statement based questions are most common, you must be able to write the answer the so-called statement based questions. So that p waves is 1.7 times faster than, so it is 1.7 times faster than s waves. So such a fast. So if, see here, if s waves travel 10 kilometers, so 1.7 times means what? S waves travel 10 kilometers, then p waves would have reached 17 kilometers. That is what 1.7 times means. So that is the speed p waves are traveling. Now again, students get out, sir, why do p waves are faster? Okay, p waves are faster. Why is the p waves are faster? Why s waves are not faster? Why can't the s waves can reach faster than the so-called p waves? For this, my answer is simple, guys. If a person traveling in a straight line, he can travel faster, or if a person one who is alcoholic has drank and he is traveling in this manner, who will reach faster? So the first person will reach faster. So this is p waves, this is s waves. Game is over. You will get a multiple oriented questions, a multiple oriented thought. The answer will be as simple as possible. Okay, if you, as the p waves is traveling in a straight path and it is moving in a straight line, so it is traveling in a faster manner, but s waves is moving in a zigzag direction, so that it is moving in a long duration. And next, here students get doubts. And also one more thing, for earthquake, see, p waves are also called as, see here, p waves is a savior of the earth, guys. So for earthquake earlier detection or finding, p waves are the savior for us. So it act as a earthquake warning. So this is the first wave travels to the earth and say that, guys, run away back, there is a s waves, surface waves coming over here, it will destruct the buildings, it will kill you. That is a warning that provided by the p waves. Such a fast it acts, and also it will be saving you, guys. Yeah, thank that. So p waves is non-destructive. P waves doesn't create any destruction. So this is non-destructive. This won't destruct you. Okay, this is non-destructive. So p waves is a non-destructive. Then what about the others? Okay, what about the destructive waves? Which are the destructive waves? Okay, if you are comparing destructive waves, or when compared to the p waves, s waves are more destructive. When compared to the s waves, more destructive are surface waves. Okay, these are all the destructive nature of the so-called waves. So it may be varying, the destructiveness will be varying. So this is what we learn about so-called p waves in a detail. If you want more details about the s waves, kindly follow the sessions and also sequence of the called as geographical concepts, and also not just a following. Also kindly share with your friends, because we put a lot of efforts to make you clear about the subject. So with your support, with your more viewing support, with your more comments, we can create a more change in this learning platform. Okay, guys, this is me, SPR, signing off. Have a nice day. Kindly don't forget to comment, because your valuable positive comments means a lot and lot more for our video making procedure, which will act as a motivating factor for us and to help you in a more understanding the subject. Okay guys, this is me SPR signing off. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care. We'll be soon back in another video about S waves.